Hey you Stygian Dogs, it's April 24th, and this marks the release of issue number 10 of Conan the Barbarian from Titan Comics and Heroic Signatures. Titled The Age Unconquered Part 2, Far Shores and Fearless Men, we see Roberto de la Torre and Jim Zub return to continue their grand story. As usual, we'll take our thorough look at the book, but first, while you go out and buy it, let's recap last month's issue and have a look at this month's covers. Thrust into an age unconquered, Conan meets Brule in the material world, their netherplane past a mystery for the future. The pair, now peers, travel to Volusia, City of Wonders. A soul set adrift, Conan is summoned to an audience with Yeg Kosha, where elusive wisdom is bestowed. As gossip stirs in the streets, our Cimmerian is to attend court with King Kull of Atlantis, conqueror of the Volusian throne, a man most disturbed. Conan battles the soured sovereign, a lion to a tiger. It's a brutal draw, and a courtier thus unnamed enters demanding justice. Now, onto the covers. I think you'll find that this month gives us a really nice set of variants. Cover A by Alan Quah featuring Conan and Brule. Here's cover B from E.M. Gist. I love Rob de la Torre's cover C, it's fantastic. And David Aja's great cover D here. All excellent stuff. Okay, let's check out the issue. And here we go. I'll flip through the book, present a few close-ups of panels. I'll try not to read too much verbatim, but I will outline the general plot and happenings. I want you to be curious and to grab your own copy. Seriously, buy these comics. I want to give you a sense of how things look and to hopefully convey my excitement and a few summary thoughts. But be warned, if you want a pure reading experience, and I know you do, I would caution you about spoilers. If inclined, feel free to skip ahead to the conclusion. On the inside cover, we see a new advertisement, this one for John C. Hocking's Conan, City of the Dead. This releases in June and contains the previous released Conan and the Emerald Lotus and the all-new sequel, Conan and the Living Plague. The cover art is by Jeffrey Allen Love, and the interior illustrations are from Richard Pace. I'll note here that Richard Pace illustrates Jim Zub's new Conan story, Leaving the Garden. This appears in next week's The Savage Sword of Conan, issue number 2. I'm particularly excited for this novel, having thoroughly enjoyed John C. Hocking's Heroic Legends Conan short, Black Starlight. I'll include a link to the pre-order in the video description. Opposite this, we get credits for the teams at Heroic Signatures and Titan Comics. On the next page, we open with the Numidian Chronicles, a summary of the events from the previous issue, and again a map of Volusia drawn by the talented hand of Francesca Barald. Invited to join the Dreamer's hunt, a youthful Kull journeys to the edge of the jungle. He continues onward, alone, as commanded by his Catamount companions. Kull beholds his village, blemished by a black stone spire. He enters the tower. From boy to king, step by step, time transforms and threatens to take all. Yet, not even the ravages of time can stop him from seeing the secrets of the Eldritch Eye, its vision of Volusia as tinder for the pyre of doomed salvation. The maddened monarch wakes from his nightmare and its prophetic portent. The Age Unconquered, Part 2, Far Shores and Fearless Men. Grim Jim Zub, writer. Ravaging Rob de la Torre, artist. Dangerous Diego Rodriguez, color artist. We see an update with regard to the lettering credits. Rascally Rich and Comic Crafts Tyler receive credit here. This suggests that Rich Starkings' personal touch is now being extended to his Comic Craft confederate. After this, Calamitous Chris Butera, editor, and Merciless Matt Murray, contributing editor. The courtier from the end of the last issue is immediately identified as two, Kull's loyal chief counselor and friend. Upon waking, Kull immediately realizes the profundity of the dream and the need to release the traitors and plan for a future most foul. Imprisoned, lamenting the pettiness of politics and the madness of civilization, Conan and Brule ponder escape. An apologetic Kull, no longer lost to mania, proclaims that Volusia needs their strength to confront the source of corruption and decay and to slay it forthwith. Counselor 2 protests his king's haste as Conan considers the cage that is the crown, that it is better to die free than to be clasped to such a chain. 2 accedes to Kull's request to ready a ship and a retinue of red slayers. A contemplative Conan recalls the final voyage of the Tigress and commits to Brule that he will see this through to the end. Kull's Red Slayers are strong, united in their king's cause. An impressed Conan wonders if he could inspire such loyalty to those under his command. So too is he impressed with one archer in particular. Below deck, Conan witnesses a different loyalty, the toil of sailors and slaves, civilization's stain. Days pass in training. The Cimmerian earns the respect of the Slayers and the eye of the archer. Brule chides Kull over the lack of an heir and the pursuit of primal needs. Meanwhile, for Conan, the moment moves from passion to pirates and a battle that beckons a buccaneer's blade. The valiant Volusians vie for victory against the deviltry of the ensorcelled seamen. Villains vanquished, the royal vessel survives. Suffering the sordid strife of storms and sickness, our sailors struggle to survive when salvation is spotted, the Atlantean coast, and a new journey begins. King Kull needs no map to find his way. The path is etched in his dreams, shown to him by his Catamaran companions. A man obsessed, he sets a feverish pace, determined to reach the village of the Sea Mountain tribe, home of those who had adopted him in his youth. But the village and its inhabitants are no more. In place of the black spire of Kull's nightmare, a vast orifice of devastation, a screaming abyss. And the next issue, the depths. And so ends issue number 10 of Conan the Barbarian from Titan Comics and Heroic Signatures, a wonderfully full tale that sees Conan, Brule, and Kull united in a common quest. I love the cyclical feel of the story as it ends in an echo of its beginning, the sense of the dark orifice as an inverted black tower, the refrains of Tulsa Doom's dark sorcery resonating through time and space. Circular, repetitive, maddening, such is this epic of the Black Stone. What will our heroes find in the depths? How will it be vanquished? Opposite this terrific final page, an advertisement for issue number 2 of The Savage Sword of Conan, featuring Dave Dorman's cover art. Issue 2 is available in stores on May 1st. Turning the page, we come to part 10 in Jeffrey Shanks' series of essays. This one is titled Kull of Atlantis, Barbarian King of an Antediluvian Empire. Shanks gives readers an overview of Kull, perhaps Robert E. Howard's second most popular character. Introspective, philosophical, and quick to anger, Kull's literary origin is in Howard's posthumously published Exile of Atlantis. Howard abandoned that story, and the public came to see Kull's first appearance in the August 1929 issue of Weird Tales, in the story The Shadow Kingdom, where Brule the Spear Slayer and the Serpent Men are also introduced. The last Kull story to be published in Howard's lifetime was Kings of the Night, appearing in the November 1930 issue of Weird Tales, wherein the hero travels 100,000 years into the future to join Brule's descendant, Bran Mac Morn, in battle against the Romans. Jeff closes by suggesting that it was perhaps inevitable that we'd see Kull make an appearance in these pages. Following the Shanks essay, and in lieu of the chainmail letters page, we get a question and answer column with Ravaging Rob de la Torre. We read about his introduction to Conan, his influences, working with Zub, and how he adores the authenticity of Conan stories as being epic adventures devoid of moralistic sermons. This is definitely worth checking out. And in the bottom corner, we catch a glimpse of Alex Horley's cover for next month's issue number 11. And after this, the covers gallery. And on the back cover, an advertisement for the Funcom properties. Jim Zub has certainly set up an ambitious arc to close out the first year of the series relaunch, and it's one that's not without risk. No matter the thrills that are provided to us, there is still the inevitable resolution to the grand story that is going to have to stick the landing. Just how will Conan return to the Hyborian Age, and will there be consequences to his actions just prior to his temporal transit? Or will events simply be erased, unaddressed? I'd say this is unlikely. The team knows what they're doing, but I know many are nervous about the ramifications of introducing time travel. Though, as Jeff Shanks' essay notes, this is not without precedent, and it's something that Robert E. Howard had done with Kull and Bran Mac Morn. Ultimately, we need not concern ourselves just yet with the arc's conclusion. In issue 10, we're in a sweet spot where we can enjoy the story as a journey to moments yet surmised, not caught up in what's next. In many ways, issue 10 rhymes with issue 2. Alliances are formed, a journey is commenced, passions are quenched, the ensorcelled are encountered, and there are depths to be plumbed. Zeb smartly chooses not to belabor King Kull's madness. Events move with relative speed, and the story has a nice cyclical nature, with events on the last pages echoing those on the first few. Of all the second story arc issues thus far, this one is the most dense in narrative content, something that will refute any accusation of it being a filler issue. There is definite progress to the adventure and a filling out of our main characters. Conan contemplates the cage that is the crown and its duties. There are allusions to his seafaring past, talk of Kull's need of an heir. Events in this present and in Conan's future are foreshadowed throughout. Unlike each of the previous issues, Roberto de la Torre declines to give us one of his splendid 2-page spreads. But in place, we get what feels like substantially more panels of his art, all of it augmented by Diego Rodriguez's excellent colors. In this open world, Rodriguez is permitted a chance to add flourish beyond the confines of the dark and moody dens and alleyways of Shadowzar. We'd seen glimpses of this in his previous work, but it's fully realized here. And there is more than enough of his moodiness in the dark moments to emphasize the foreboding nature of the quest. And as for the absence of de la Torre's 2-pager, well, I'd like to think that this is an harbinger of greater things yet to come, so now I'm all the more excited. It's hard to believe that we're only 2 more issues to go before we close out the year and presumably the end to this epic story. I remain eager to see what becomes of Brissa. There are clues to her return, and I consider Yay-Kosh's reappearance in some way to be an inevitability. But these are matters for the future. With its rich narrative, excellent pacing, and mature content, issue 10 of Conan the Barbarian does not disappoint. Roberto de la Torre and Jim Zub continue to soar the heights of Volusia's majestic spires. Thanks for watching, liking, consider subscribing, and let me know what you thought of the issue. Keep an eye out for my look at issue number 2 of The Savage Sword of Conan and the Conan the Barbarian Battle of the Blackstone free comic book day issue. Finally, if you haven't had a chance to check it out yet, please watch my 2-part conversation with Jim Zub. I think you'll dig it. And until next time, take it easy, you Stygian Dogs.